Hello everyone, welcome to this slide. In this slide, we will learn about writing integration test with ChatGPT. Okay, so first we take a look at this book controller and book service class, and then we'll try to generate integration test for these classes on ChatGPT. This is my book service class. Okay, I'm just closing some open code which I may not need. Okay. Again, this is a book controller class. So first I generate test for book controller class and then I generate test for book service class, book service implementation. Okay. Let's copy book controller. But there might be a prompt, so it's better to copy a prompt because it is quite structured and it provides enough context. So prompt says here is a book controller and book service interface. Paste code we use Spring Boot 3 JUnit 5 Spring Boot starter test, write integration test. Okay, I don't see this prompt for integration test. Somehow it is written integration test. I see it as a unit test. Okay, because in integration test, I am supposed to have a in-memory database. However, everything is getting mocked. But somehow it is, to some extent, a person can claim that it is integration test. Okay, but I would say it's a unit test. So we have to adjust our code also. So first I generate code for only book controller, not for book interface. Okay. We use Spring Boot 3, JUnit 5, Spring Boot starter test, right? Integration test, book controller ID using Spring Boot test auto configure mock MVC requirements. Use mock MVC, create book, fetch ID, then fetch all. Okay. And we have to see this prompt is also not so good prompt. Okay. Create a book. First I create a book, then I check it that it is created or not. Okay, this will be a one test case. First I delete the book. Okay, but for that I need a real integration test. I don't need fetch all. Okay, I may need fetch all if I create more than one book. JSON parse assertion random port. Okay, so let's generate it, but before I generate this unit test, I copy this complete controller class. Let's see. Okay, here's a prompt. Now let's see what happened. Mocking is also helpful when our code is heavily dependent on third parties. Okay, so we may not be able to create a real world integration test scenario. In that case, mocking helps a lot. Okay, so it's better to start with mocking. And if it is possible, then it's better to create a full-fledged integration test. So here I got minimal but complete book controller IT. Let's see. Okay, so one test is generated. Let's copy the code and book controller IT. Okay, I will certainly have some issues. Okay, this Maven dependency is not available, it seems like. So Maven control. It's better to have latest one. Okay. I copied it here. Mhm. I will be using this dependency only for the testing purpose so far. So, mhm. Yeah, I'm getting to the same source. Mhm. Mhm. Then let's try some old difference. It's not working. Don't know why. Hmm. What is a sneaky throw? Okay, it is something like provided by Lombok. Okay, so I have to test it. If it is green, then yeah, things are. Then I have to understand it also. Only then I could say, yeah, this is a good test. Okay, I think I have to add some more Jackson libraries to make it work. Mhm. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it is failing, but let's see why it is failing. Okay, I did not start the container. That's the reason. Mm-hmm. This is still failing. Let's see why it is failing. Okay, now I try to fix this problem. There is some qualifying bean of Jackson. It is again a Jackson problem, but it may be a different issue. So I copy this error and I paste it. Okay, so let's run this test again because now I found a way to generate ID without using object mapper. I just commented out object mapper as suggested by ChatGPT. Okay, so I have only one test actually, so I just ran this. Okay, no tests were found. Okay, it is still failing, and let's see why it is failing. Some data integrity issue, not null property. So not null property is referenced as null. That's a problem. Hmm. So here is an entity, ID, title, author, price, ISBN. Hmm. Long, I think I don't need it. It will generate automatically. Title, author, price, ISBN. Price. Let's see what is the format of ISBN. ISBN. Example. Okay, let's copy this ISBN number. Okay, and here I have to make some change. Price and ISBN. Months passed. Okay, first we see if we don't have any other issue. Probably it must pass. Let's see. Mm-hmm. The test is failing, but let's see why it is failing. 50. Status is created. So some JSON exception is happening, and it is most likely happening. Wait a moment. I'm getting this error, and this is my uh, controller ID test. Please help me to fix this issue. Okay, I understand there might be one problem, and this is the problem. So far, what I understood, but let's see what. Okay, I think this is the only problem. Hopefully, this time I could see some improvement. Okay, now it is failing. Let's see what is the reason. As I said, I need some improvement and insert into books. Author, ISBN, price, title. Okay, the reason I know, the reason is ID. I don't have an ID. Will it work? If one is accepted as a long, then it might work. Uh, Again, it is showing the same, a different error. I also understand that the reason 51. And what is the reason behind it? Comma separate entries. Oh, I did not. Oh, I made. I again made the same mistake, like comma trading error. Okay, again I got an error. Could not execute this SQL query. That could be a problem. Wait a moment. 13. Yes. Here, how many characters I have? Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so I make it 20, but I have to restart everything. Or I do one thing. Let it be 13 because this is just a demo. Okay, because I have to restart everything. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now let's retest it. Mhm. That's still failing. The reason is it is expecting different answer. The old one. Now it will work. Mhm. It's 409. Duplicate ISBN exception. This is because I'm not deleting it. That is a problem. I have to. What is this? Why it is? Yeah, that can call that API. Not this way. I would say I would. Or I would. There must be an API. Wait a moment. Delete. Delete mapping. Yes. Okay. I would not go with this approach. I would. I just want to check with ChatGPT whether this. Right now, you call delete doesn't match your controller mapping. Yes, it may not match with controller mapping. So, okay. Okay, like this it will work. Okay. I restart my container because it will rebuild everything. Compose. It is started. Let's see it. Is it working? Yes, it is working. No, it is working. Okay. Now I run this test. Okay, so again it is showing me the same problem. And what is the problem now? 409. Duplicate ISBN exception. Let's see the code. Maybe something is wrong in the code. Hmm. So I think before all I have to set. Hmm. Yeah, ID SQL. Let's open ID SQL and see what's inside there. DB database does not exist. Okay. Books. Okay, data. Yes, this is data. I delete it. Now it is empty. Now I retest it. Okay, test is green. Okay, it is passing. See, first of all, there are some issues in this work, in this like integration test. But those issues I'll talk later. First, I explain you the test. Uh, that's how I created a JSON. Okay. Now I set up post script for using mock MVC. Content type must be JSON, and this will be the content, and this will be the expected. Then response body will be created, and from response body, number and ID will be fetched. Then fetch all, then delete book. Okay. So why I was getting this problem? Because I already entered one record and the database table was not deleted, or that record was not deleted. That's why I was getting it. So normal solution to this problem is that once I entered everything, I must delete everything. Let's refresh it. See, I don't have anything. Why I don't have anything? Because this part of the script is working. But suppose I delete this, I comment out. Okay, I entered it. Okay. This time test is green. I updated it. I have a record, beautiful record. Now second time I do it, I'm likely to get an error, that exception. ISBN, duplicate ISBN found exception. Yes, I am getting exception because this ISBN is already in the database table. So how can I solve it? Now I have to manually delete it. And I have to execute this code every time I entered something to the database. I uncommented it, then I manually deleted it. Or maybe I can use some script to delete this thing. Okay. Now I run this test more than one time, maybe three, four times. I think a two time is enough. Let's run it again. Same test I'm running again. Okay. So I have got no duplicate ISBN exception. Okay. So this is one advantage of setting up delete book here. Okay. And this could be like we don't need all books at all because I'm entering one record and I'm getting it. This is not required, so I can just delete it. Okay. And I can have like three steps. Just first I create, then I fetch to verify that yeah, whatever I'm testing is existing, and then I delete that specific record which I entered into the database table. So we are done with our basic example of integration test. It was pretty good example, I would say. And the most important thing is now we see that Mockito can also be used as integration test. Okay, so I was talking about one issue. The issue is that we have Dockerized database Postgres. Okay, but it would be a good practice to consider using some in-memory database. That would be fast. I don't need to run integration test in such a complex environment. No, I can, for basic mock MVC kind of integration test, I could create some kind of resource folder here. Mhm. And here I can specify, and here I can enter configuration for the S2 database or some in-memory database. Okay, maybe we will do this later. Okay, but first we have to finish off our all slides. So this was a pretty good example of integration test. Okay, and let's see what else is left. Okay, three only. We are in the third page of this integration test. Okay, then paste answer into IDE, fix minor import annotation differences, run test to show passes that we did. Ask for improvement, extract JSON payload into helper methods. Okay, use SQL or test data if needed, use more descriptive. So I did not do this thing. Helper method. Okay, yes, it is pretty big. You know, this is not clean code. Okay, so let's instead of doing it, I would say let's do it a little bit manually. Private string create JSON payload create JSON payload, and then okay. So this is like removed. Use SQL or test data setup if needed. These things we okay. Use more descriptive test method names. Okay, create book, then get by no, then delete by ID. Yeah, this is a good option. Okay, first we create it. Okay, then we extract ID. We remove this unwanted line. We can do some more refactoring. Private void fetch by book ID. And what else we can provide? Long creator ID. Long created. Okay, now fetch by ID. Create book. Now I change another. Create book. Create book. So yeah, now it looks much better than it was. Okay, This code is much looks much better. It is, yeah, quite well refactored, I would say. Okay, and yeah, so let's run it again so we can make sure that everything is fine. And SQL, yeah, we may need it in future, but as of now, as I mentioned that H2 database, we can set up H2 database build. Okay, so what is the problem? So I made some mistake. Okay, now it is demanding embedded class. Okay, why it is asking for this? Okay, the reason is I added this thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. So shall I move? Yes, let's move. I might have old project with some H2 database, so I could save my time. Normally, I must give this issue to ChatGPT. Let's see. This is Postgres. No, I don't have any such configuration here. So, yeah, I have to ask ChatGPT about it. Okay. So first I need a Maven dependency, and then I need some configuration. Okay, as we are using ChatGPT for our Java Spring Boot application, so it's better to ask ChatGPT and make sure that what ChatGPT refers us is correct, and then we can apply those changes. Nice, you are very close now. The error is 100% about no database for your test context. Okay, so first I have to add these dependencies. Okay, so pom.xml and here, and I also mention this one. Aha. Okay. Okay, so this is application properties. Okay, I have to start charging my. Yeah, my laptop has a very little battery, so I have to recharge it. Okay. Oh, it is very, very less battery. Okay, so now I just check everything is fine. Next to driver, make it essay. Let's test it. Hopefully it will work. I don't get any other issue. If it works, then I will tell you another interesting thing about using this kind of integration test. Okay, now it is working. So what is the advantage now that I don't need to start Docker container? I stop this Docker desktop. Okay, quit. Yeah, it is stopping. So now I don't have any Docker desktop running, and I just click it. And let's see what happens. Earlier I was using Dockerized Postgres database. So my application was dependent on Dockerized Postgres database. I was also surprised. But later I realized that I did not provide this resource application or properties. So my unit test is referring to a database. Database was not available. So I had to start Docker desktop. Then I had to start this Spring Boot application. And then I could perform my test. But now I don't need to do it. So yeah, so this part is done. Like test data is set up now. Okay, now it's fifth and the last part of the slide. Provide exact framework version, test style, show ChatGPT maybe use deprecated annotations. Mix old and new test styles, you fix it. AI, write boring setup, you make it robust and clean. Okay, so I just move back to the same prompt. Yeah, this is a prompt that I would like to discuss again. Okay, so here I wrote test for book controller. I did not write any test for book surface. Okay, so I provided some context. We use Spring Boot 3 JUnit 5 Spring Boot starter test. We write integration test class book controller IT using Spring Boot test and auto configure mock MVC. Requirement is mock MVC create book fetch by IT and fetch all. Okay, so I will not change this prompt. I will make some modification to generate test for the service class now. Okay, so my controller is doing quite well. Mhm. Okay, here I go. I delete everything. I enter. Here is book controller. So instead of book controller, I will write book service interface. I provide space for this thing, and now I have to. for this. I copy this complete code. I paste it. As we are using ChatGPT to write tests and many other things in our in Java Spring Boot application, it is also very important to review each line of code. Okay, we cannot ignore any line of code. For example, last time in the last slide, I have showed you that here is a duplicate ISBN. It is acceptable. Okay, but here is an update option. Here it was also showing error duplicate ISBN exception, which was completely incorrect. Okay, so if ISBN is not found, then ISBN not found exception must be thrown, not duplicate ISBN exception. So these kind of issues could happen with ChatGPT, and we must. That's why it's important to review each line of code. Okay, I made a mistake because it is not supposed to be book controller IT, service IT. Okay, no, no, it is incorrect. Unfortunately, this is incorrect test. Okay, because I did not provide a right context. And no, the database is available. Okay. Okay. So this is always writing me a controller, and there is a reason. Mocking these stuffs are important for. I have to write a test. Hmm. Sometimes you have to reject suggestion from ChatGPT too. This code I cannot accept for service, and there's a very simple reason that this is not acceptable for service. Uh, this is our code, okay, and it can be mocked or whatever it is, but this code is good for controller class. Okay, later we will see how we can fix these kind of issues, but this code we cannot accept for service. So here we end our work, especially from the controller perspective, it is doing quite well because without controller it cannot, as it is data is getting into the database and getting deleted. So it is doing quite well. Okay, but service I might take an extra session to write a class test for service. Okay, so yeah, this I will not accept it. This is only controller code. Mhm. Okay, so yeah, this slide is done. Okay, with mock MVC we tested quite well. We might use web test client in future. And yes, ChatGPT did well with the controller testing, but it did not do so well with the service testing. Okay, so those concerns we must take these concerns very seriously. Okay, otherwise we'll mess up. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this slide, and hopefully we'll see each other in the next slide. Okay, so have a nice day.